Yeah, welding, like if you've ever seen like good landscaping, right? The difference in like what you would do if you just cut your grass, and if you had a professional come versus if you ever gone to like Augusta and seen the fast, or any professional golf course
or baseball field.
Yeah. Like there's absolute levels, and the guy that cuts that grass, that guy makes a lot to cut that grass. I think welding and cutting grass probably transfers pretty well because the guy. You got some guy out there making $10 an hour cutting grass, right? Like the guy that cuts my grass, and then you got some guy who's probably
who's preparing Yankee Stadium.
Remember, there's that family who does it. There's like what field was it where it's like, we're the Johnson family. We handle the field.
It's like we do anything that Cleveland needs. We're here.
That's like one of those terrifying setups for like a horror movie. You like get in a baseball field late at night. It's who's that? That's the Johnsons. It's like 7 generations of old people
spraying that fucking infield down.
They refuse to breed outside the grass mowing family.
Like they're the only ones that live here. Exactly.
All their hair is perfect.
Like I don't know if I know you're not I don't think you're a baseball guy. I'm not either.
Sort of.
I watched this video like about the lawn mowing thing. Did you know that in baseball they like these lawn mowing families? They'll do things like the GM or whatever will be like, "Hey, we're playing the Astros," and then the grass mowing family will be like, "The Astros." Okay, they like to steal bases. They like to do this and that. We're gonna put extra water on the infield. We're gonna make the outfield slower, and it's like. I was blown away by that. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Top level. It's love cool. When you get to see like the behind the scenes of how people really like the level of when you hear about F1, it's like, yo, we reduced the tire pressure by 0.01%, and that is going to get us around the corner this much faster. It's a game of like millimeters. It's so much more fun though when you learn about it from sports like baseball, where you're like, dude, it just fucking hit the ball harder. I don't understand. Like how is mowing the grass like a quarter inch higher going to change the game? Bet you it has.
So what they'll do specifically, like if you've got a pitcher who produces a lot of ground balls, he throws a lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of breaking stuff, and he's a ground ball pitcher. His goal is to get you to hit a ground ball to one of his great infielders. They fucking get you out. He's not going to blow heat past you and have K's lined up on the board, right? A way to help him is, like Taylor said, making the infield slower, making those balls lay down, and that's by just hit it with a hose. Hit it with a hose before the game. Now it's kind of wet and soggy. And that when the ball hits that grass, instead of like ricocheting and bouncing hard like it's a tennis surface, it sogs down a little. It squishes in, slows down, easier to field, scoop up, and get that guy out. A lot less rockets going up through the middle, good little choppers going over the pitcher's head, stuff like that. You see, you've probably seen where you hit the ball, it hits right in front of the batter, but it chops over everybody's head in the infield. He makes it. That ain't happening either. There's lots of ways to make things a little bit harder. And it's the long game, right? Like, probably won't matter today. But if we do it every fucking game that we play, we're going to win an extra few games. And that might be the difference between, a championship and
you're money balling it.
180 games. Movie. Yeah, 100 or 160 games. Like, one of these, it might matter.
It might. This year, with like Braves were, it was down to the last game or two. They fucking came back and won.
Do you think that do you like, I mean, I know you guys are UFC fans and Taylor, you're a hockey fan, maybe more applicable in hockey, but like, because UFC is they kind of do a good job of making sure we don't have this, but like, do you like the shithousery that sports has sometimes where people are just like, you're like, that's just like, I think the Miami, Florida, the football team puts the opposing bench in the sun on the other side of the field. So it's 30 degrees hotter on their bench in the summer than it is on the Miami Dolphins side. Like, that's great shithousery. It's like not about the game, but it is.
It happened this year with the Vikings. I think I was hearing this secondhand from Mitty. Mitty was like, some kind of horse shit is happening because our bench is 108 degrees and theirs is 87. All right, they've got the heat turned on and they're blasting. They didn't know what it was. Like, I maybe the teams or the temperature's wrong, but it was like significant enough that fuckery was about.
Yeah,
I think there's not a temperature variance in this building like that.
In hockey, I think it's the New York Islanders. So, obviously there's a goalie and a backup goalie, and in every single bench in the entire league, the backup goalie sits with the team, so that he can like be part of the team and like see what's going on, get instruction from the coach. Hey, you might have to go in a bit, bud. Like, he's sucking out there. the Islanders are the only team, and it's only on the away bench that the backup goalie has to sit by himself in a separate box alone. And so they'll be like, there's the, Hurricanes, there's the team. And they'll be like, and there's the backup goalie. And it's just like him. He's sitting by himself. Like you can see people around behind him. And it's like, that's got to be horrible. Like you're sitting there by yourself and you're like,
for both sides,
please don't let too many goals in, man. I'm not ready.
Team.
No, it's just the away team. The home team.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's no regulation about that.
I think it's the Islanders. Yeah,
because I'll say this in baseball, you can't just put the bullpen in the parking lot. So
but you can change. You can change the field. What the fuck is the green monster? They just said build a 40-foot wall. And then the other one's like take the right field and make it 30 feet closer. Like baseball is. I mean, I know that's a little bit more like, hey, we got this plot of land kind of thing. But my favorite version, and since it is the World Cup, is the confederation that the U.S. plays in is so diverse that you can have teams from Honduras who are playing in like 100-degree, 90% humidity, literal like the jungle on a shitty turf, like awful grass field, and then 3 days later they have to play up in -20 Edmonton, Canada to qualify, and it's like the most shithousery I've ever seen. But it's so funny. They're like, I've never seen snow before. It is actually colder than I've ever thought possible.
You're like from Honduras to go play. And then the Canadian team has to be like, yeah, this could go well.
Yeah, they don't have coats.
That's what they do for the U.S. The U.S. team. The U.S. refuses to play play soccer in LA or Miami. They only play in like Ohio or Minnesota or Boston because it's so far away from like an immigrant population. They know damn well if it was US versus like the Philippines and LA, the entire stadium is Filipino people. Like it doesn't matter. Like there's just, we ain't got that kind of fandom yet. So